until September 19th. Now to find out how technology is changing the way wine gets to your glass, let's go to Leslie Sbrocco for Food and Wine this week.
Thanks, Belva. As a wine expert, I taste thousands of bottles of wine every year, and I've observed firsthand how technology has influenced winemaking. And now with the green movement in full swing, wineries are utilizing modern packaging techniques and updating some traditional methods for serving and storing wine. What's old is new again, and when it comes to wine, that's never more true than it is today. For centuries, wine has been transferred from the barrel to the bottle. Now, alongside traditional bottles with corks, are stainless steel canteens filled with simple, fresh young wine that's delivered weekly. And pressurized tanks supply wine on tap. Then it's back to the barrel that's inspired by the past for a new way to pour a glass. A new way that's almost as old as, well, wine itself. Joining me is KQED Radio and Bay Area Bites blogger, Musiker, along with wine visionary Jean-Charles Boisset. Now, Jean-Charles, you come from one of the most traditional wine regions in the world, Burgundy in France, and now you're a Californian. And I think you're known in the industry for your focus on innovation, but really a focus on the environment. Now, how has that manifested itself in what you're doing with, for example, some of the wines that you brought today?
Well, I was very fortunate at a young age. My grandmother instilled in me the values of organic and biodynamic by really utilizing the galaxies in relationship to Mother Nature and Mother Earth, and really respecting the organics and biodynamics of our ecosystem. Then I wanted to take it to the next level, beyond making organic wines and biodynamic wines, moving into the package to really diminish the carbon footprint. Right. So we decided to do all kinds of innovation alongside to Tetra Pak, PET, aluminum bottles, as well as barrels.
And you brought Tetra Pak here today, and when we say Tetra Pak right there, it looks like a juice box, right?
It is, indeed.
Yeah.
It is really basically a carton with a little layer of aluminum inside. Okay. And this is great because this is 90% less packaging. This is actually lighter than an eggshell.
Right. So
the beauty of this is there's really more than 66% ecosystem or a carbon footprint.
And you reduced our carbon footprint. The same is true with the PET bottles, right?
Same for both.
Right.
Exactly. This is resealable, easy to use, easy to carry, perfect for tailgating. Right. Same with PET, and you can conserve it for a longer period of time, which makes it fantastic.
And it's actually much lighter.
Yeah, and it's much lighter, and it looks like a bottle. That one is actually plastic right there.
And this one is 1 liter, so we have 33% more wine in it, which is fantastic as well for the consumer.
Still
too.
Recyclable. Again, lighter, so the shipping costs are less, carbon footprint.
And 7 of those actually create a T-shirt. So your T-shirt is actually made out of those.
Out of 7 of those,
I'm more natural than that, but yes, that's right.
And let's talk a little bit, Si, about the wine on tap movement in San Francisco.
Right. Well, there's the same kind of push for being greener, reducing your carbon footprint, and less waste in the restaurant business and bar business as there is at the winery side. And for restaurants, this has been always a big problem. What do you do with that last little bit of wine at the end of the day that's going to sit there overnight and often sits there and is poured for the next customer the next day and is stale and tired? That's all waste for the restaurant. Right. And so what wine restaurants have done is, in fact, sometimes gone to wineries and said, let's find a way to package the wine in kegs like beer is, but without adding fizz. So they're using nitrogen or argon gas to cap wine in what are called ponies, which are these tall cylinders, and they can hold 5 gallons or more.
And the delivery system
wine.
Looks kind of like a beer on tap. I mean,
right,
when you're
exactly. You pull a little lever, and the wine flows into the glass. And these are for the restaurants also. The opportunity is there to do something that they love to do, that these wine buyers love to do, create their own custom blends. Right. So they can go to a winery. The winery then says, I don't have to bottle it. I don't have to design a label.
Less waste,
less
cost.
Right, exactly. And it's very much a locavore kind of idea also. Chris Pastina at a Chop Bar in Oakland near Jack London Square, he actually wheels a dolly over to J.C. Cellars, Jeff Cohen's winery.
Jeff Cohen's winery, which does great
also
wine,
in downtown Oakland, and definitely no carbon footprint from that delivery system.
Yeah. And talk about your barrels, because again, it's that same idea of reducing waste in the restaurant business. If you're ordering wines by the glass, guess what? You don't really need it in the bottle. Sorry. So.
Well, what we wanted to try to do, and I say try because it's always a challenge, is to really replicate a tasting as if you were in the cellar. So we wanted to bring the cellar to the consumer. So by doing a barrel, it's a mini barrel which contains 10 liters of wine, unfined and unfiltered. We brought exactly the same experience to a consumer in Kentucky, in Illinois, in New York, as if they were in Sonoma. So we put the barrel on the bar, and it allows the sommelier, the wine steward, to say, do you want to taste an unfined, unfiltered wine as if you were at Deloge Vineyards? So what we attempted to achieve is really maintain quality, freshness, which is very, very important, as well as bring a wine nobody would ever try in a regular bottle of wine because of the unfined, unfiltered aspect of it. Brought into a 10-liter eco bag we slide inside, so you have the attraction of that sexy, tactile, really adorable barrel. Wine is, and the content is, so everybody asks, what is it in the barrel?
And I think you brought up an important point, which is quality of the wine. And you actually have a wine, we have your wine in barrel, from barrel here in our glass, but we also have an interesting wine. This is Sauvignon Blanc from a company that it also does unfined, unfiltered, very non-interventionist wine, the Natural Process Alliance. And they serve it in canteens, much like a milkman would bring the...
Well, exactly, and I think it's great. This is a little bit cloudy. It's hard to see on camera, but one of the things that they do is they limit, I believe, their delivery to within 100 miles of the winery. That's both to keep the efficiency of delivering to enough restaurants so that you're not wasting a lot of gasoline, but also this wine is not necessarily stable for weeks and weeks and weeks on end.
But it's the freshest, and it's meant to be drunk and brought to... Well, I have to tell you, the future is very exciting for this, isn't it? So I want to thank you both for joining me, Jean-Charles Boisset and Musiker. You'll find more information on this new trend, as well as a link to the Bay Area Bites blog. Just go to kqed.org/thisweek. And that's it for now. Until next time, cheers. And cheers to you. Cheers. Thank you.